We are Mike and Jeannie, and we restore old houses. In 2021, we moved to South Carolina and bought a 120-year-old Victorian house. Follow along as we put the polish back on this Victorian masterpiece.
Today's program is sponsored by the generous support of our patrons. Your support helps to further our historic preservation efforts. For more information, visit patreon.com/1834 Restoration House.
Welcome back to 1834 Restoration House.
Today, we're going to be working on the front yard, cleaning it up, getting all those roots out, and preparing it for
Landscaping.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So we pulled a lot of bushes out. We were mostly successful. There's a couple here that we couldn't get the roots on, so we did some digging around, and we think that we can pull those out today and get those out. We'll pick up the leaves, and once that's all clear, we're going to go ahead and see if we can regrade some of this. This bush here was dead, and we didn't even know it was there, but after we started digging around a little bit, we found it. And so what I'm going to do here is just dig around and make it to where I can put the chain around the root ball, because once I get that, then the tractor can pull it out. I was really afraid of the soil here because here in the south we have a lot of clay, and when clay gets dry, it's like concrete. But I'm finding the soil here is really nice. I mean, it just feels very soft. Okay, I think that's probably deep enough. So let's go ahead and get the tractor set up and put the chain on it. If you missed our last episode, what we do is take a chain that's attached to the tractor, and I do what's called a choke set, where I wrap it around the root ball as low and as tight as possible, and then I just clip it onto itself. We've been using a double choke for safety. It's probably not necessary with bushes this small, but why not? Okay, that should do it. This tractor should have no trouble pulling that out. Okay, I'm going to set the tractor in four-wheel drive so we have maximum ground traction, and then I'll just give it a couple of yanks and it should pop right out. At first glance, it looks like this bush would be impossible to pull with a tractor because the stalks go straight down. But I think that there is actually a root ball under there, so I'm going to go ahead and dig down a little bit. And if we can hook onto that thing and yank it with a tractor, so much the better. I haven't had a lot of luck trying to dig things out with the shovel, although sometimes you get lucky, and I think today is that day. So I guess we don't need the tractor for this one. Now, since we have good topsoil here, I'm making sure that I knock off all of the topsoil and leave it behind, because we don't want to lose that. This is a good example of landscaping run amok. What started out as one plant many years ago has become several. Let's see what the shovel can do for it.
It's in there pretty good.
It is. I think that may be part of the mother plant, though.
I think so. There's a huge root right here.
Is there?
Yeah.
Let me get around the back side here and see what that does. Feels like it's trying to come.
It does.
Did we get it?
Oh, there's one big root right there.
Okay. Well, there. How about that? Yeah. This bush is so big underground that I think the best solution here is just to dig down, and then we'll attach the chain to the root ball and give it a yank with the tractor. There's just no way that this is going to come out by hand. You notice I'm throwing all the topsoil back there in a pile because we want to keep that. That's good stuff. Yeah, in the perfect world, we could just attach a chain to the base of the plant and give it a yank, but sometimes you have to go subterranean with it, and that requires some digging. I'm not sure how well this is going to work, but go ahead and light it up and let's see what happens.
Bummer.
Well, it's not a bummer. What it did do is it pulled it up a little more.
Oh, okay.
So now I can get lower onto the root ball. Wow, that root system is massive.
Wonder how old it is.
I don't know. Yeah, you got it. Go. Yep. Okay, it looks like there's two pieces here, so I think with a little extra work, we can get the tractor under there and pull the rest of it out. Okay, I reset the chains. I think we're good to go now. It may pop out this time. That's what I'm talking about. Go ahead. I have the stubs of 4 dead plants. They were dead when we got here, and they probably have been dead for years. So I've started digging a little bit. I think these may just come up on their own without the help of the tractor. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's great. So there's one. Let's see about this one here. I keep striking something down there. What is that? Oh. I think I'm hitting roots. Even though the roots are dead, they're still in the way. But the good news is dead roots will snap pretty easy and leave you with no problems whatsoever. Okay, here we go. Here's another one. Now, some plants are notoriously hard to kill. With some of them, if you leave a root in the ground, they can actually come back up and grow again. I hope these aren't that kind. Okay, I've got 2 more, one here and one here. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Wow. Well, we have his and hers leaf rakes, These are oak leaves that were left over from last year, and we never got around to pulling them out. So we're going to go ahead and pull them out now and get them on the lawn.
Well, this dust is making my nose run.
Yeah, me too. I start sneezing. In last week's episode, we pulled a bunch of bushes out of here. Now, this thing was pretty overgrown and it was getting in the way of mowing. So we decided we're just going to just yank it all out, reset it, and then we'll make that part of the master plan of landscaping this place. But
Yes.
we still have problems. We've got big roots. We've got bricks that are kind of semi-embedded. So we're just trying to get all this stuff out of here and get it to just plain bare soil.
There's a brick embedded right here, too.
I've never seen so many bricks in a landscape. I mean, they're not really doing anything. They're just there.
Yeah, they're not like put together with mortar or anything. They're just
Yeah.
randomly wherever.
Yeah, they're all over the yard, way back here too.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was part of a landscape scheme that just fell apart or somebody just tossed them out there. I don't know.
This bush, we're going to try and dig around it and see if we can get a chain around the root ball. I got bricks in here. One moment. Well, I'm not sure if I can. Well, it's part of a brick.
I'd sure love to have an excavator right now.
Yeah.
I will dig this out in a hurry. All right, we're back up here at the front again, and I have a problem. There's still some roots in the ground that I want to get out, but there's also a bunch of bricks in here. Now, somebody had gone to a lot of trouble to put bricks in here to do some hardscaping, and over the years, they've just all buckled and gone every which way, and some of them are buried. So I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can get those out of here. Like here's one right here. So I'll just take and just dig a little bit. Okay, yeah, see how it pops out? It's broken. Here's another one. Another broken brick. So I don't know how many of these are down here, but I'm just gonna kind of chop around and see if I can find some more. They could be almost anywhere, really. But I'm not feeling any more up here. There we go. Here's another one, buried under the soil. And another. And another. These things haven't been seen in years. Well, maybe if I just keep going in this direction, maybe I can get all of them. Okay, there's a line of bricks right here, and I just found another one buried here, so I'm just going to keep coming back. Oh, there's another one. There's another one. This is like archaeology, folks. And another one. This was probably a really nice hardscaping feature back in the day. And there's another. But over time, you know, things get buried, and then they disappear. Wow, that's a deep one. Wow. And I think a lot of what happens is people add mulch to their landscapes and it just keeps getting built up and built up. What do we have here? Oh, I thought maybe there was a tunnel or something there, but no, it's not. It just stops. That's a rock. All right, I'm going to chop this way. Let's see if there's anything there. There's not. How about this way? Nope, there's nothing there either. All right, so we got that out. Let's go ahead down the line. Okay, there's one right behind it. What are we doing here? Oh, there's one I didn't even see. That's incredible. I believe I'm hitting stones there. What is that? Wait a minute. Wait. What is that? Hold on. There's something down there. Let's see what that is. You guys are not going to believe this, but there is another set of bricks down here, buried. And the bricks I just pulled out were on top, but they weren't sitting directly on top. They were kind of offset a little bit. So now I'm wondering what else is under here. So let me go grab a shovel and let's investigate. Well, we didn't intend this to be an archaeological dig, but there is definitely something there. Yeah, that goes down. That's probably a good, I don't know, 8 inches below the soil. What is this? Look at that. It kind of looks like a brick, but it angles sharply back towards this foundation.
It's just like that other side where it has that drain system kind of with the bricks lined up.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
It's very interesting.
Angled down.
Yeah, so anyway, what we're seeing here, we're seeing bricks that are set down in a V like this. Let's take the camera to the other side of the house and we'll show you another section just like this. So this is what I think we found over there. The bricks are set in a V pattern like this. And we think this may have been part of an old drainage system because every house, of course, has downspouts. What we think happened originally is that the water would come down off the roof. It would land in this trough, roll downhill like that, and then come around back and I'll show you something else. So the trough came alongside the porch like this, and then it came into this brick structure. And if you look down here, you can see the remains of an old pipe that's partially buried. Now, what I believe happened was that water would roll in here, and this would act as a kind of a catchment, and then the water would then go down to the pipe and then head out back into the backyard. Now, we did find a pipe way in the back that comes out of the soil and just kind of dumps out in the yard. We can only assume that this may have been part of it. It could have been a very elaborate drainage system that they had back in the day. But this is buried, and we would have to unearth it. The thing about this pipe is it goes over here and it crosses over the area where they trenched in for the electrical system. When the guys were here trenching, nobody mentioned ever coming across a pipe when they dug down, and they went down about 18 inches. So I don't know if they broke it and didn't say anything, or if it's actually a little bit deeper than what they were digging, and it may still be intact. So if that's the case, what if, just think with me here for a sec, what if this pipe could be opened up and we could restore the original Victorian drainage system that this house used to use? Wouldn't that be cool? Okay, we've been talking off camera and we have an idea which we'll share with you later, but What we're going to do now is, since we have this feature, we're going to go ahead and unearth it and get it exposed. So I'm just digging through, looking for more bricks. There's a few here and a few there and a bunch missing. Here's a piece of one. There's one.
And pieces.
Yeah, that one's broken. There's one. These are easy because they're right there. This is an incredible find. I came across some more bricks here on the surface, and I believe these were probably put here for the benefit of this faucet. And they probably don't go much further than about here, so I'm going to go ahead and release them as well. And then we'll just get a fresh start. Oh, look at that. These two appear to be mortared together, so they might have been part of something else. There's a hole down there for something. Looks like some critter had made a home under here. I've never seen so many bricks scattered around in one place ever. They're all over the property. They're up against trees, they're buried back in the woods, and they're even buried here in the landscape. So somebody loved bricks. And apparently they just kept getting recycled and recycled and recycled. We came across this interesting mess down here, and we've known this is here, but never really paid much attention. But there's a bunch of bricks, stones, and a small chunk of concrete here. And I think that underneath this concrete, there may be another drain pipe. So we'll be excavating that and having a look. Jeannie took over the tool for a minute and did some work pulling rocks and bricks out of here. Here's the aftermath of it. Just a bunch of random rocks and brick that was just shoved in the corner. So the only thing left here is this chunk of concrete, and I'm going to see if I can liberate that from its position. Not sure how far down. Okay, yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay. And, oh, we have another rock over here still. And what appears to be concrete. Yeah, this is crazy. I guess just somebody put the stuff here in the corner. I don't know if it was to cover a hole or something, but I do think if we dig down right here, we may find a drain pipe. So I'm very interested to get in there and look at that. So now that we have all the bricks out, now we need to go back over there and start removing the soil and taking it out. All right, it's a busy Saturday. All the neighbors are mowing their grass and trimming up the shrubs and everything. So it's a little bit noisy, but we're pressing on. This is incredible what we found down here. This has been here probably, maybe possibly since the house was built. We've been clearing this out, and it was about 8 inches deep when we started. We're probably down to about 6 inches now. And I'm just taking the mattock here and loosening up the soil. It's already pretty loose, which tells me that this was probably actually landscape landscape soil. And they just added it and buried all the brick feature here. It brings me to a good point. This is a problem, particularly with older homes, is that people will bring in bark or some kind of soil. I grew up in the Pacific Northwest. We had a lot of forest industry there. And one thing we had a lot of was bark that came off the trees as they went through the sawmills. And so there was a product there called bark mulch. I think they call it bark own mulch or something like that. But our dads loved this stuff. They'd bring it home by the truckload and they just spread it everywhere. And what happens is over the years, you keep adding this stuff in and it packs down. All right, you add some more. And then after a couple of years, it starts looking ratty. You add some more. And this goes on for year after year after year. Pretty soon you end up with this. A lot of soil that shouldn't have been there. And it ends up covering up your foundation, which you can see here has happened. So unearthing this is good on a couple of levels. Number one, it gets rid of the excess soil buildup and allows the foundation wall to breathe again. Number two, it allows us to clear this out, regrade it, and then put back in a really beautiful landscape feature that we think will go really well with a 120-year-old Victorian house. While we're on the topic of soil buildup, a lot of houses, they have wood siding. And if you keep building the soil up and up and up and up, eventually you're getting dangerously close to the wood. And moisture can form and it can rot your wood. Insects, particularly termites and carpenter ants, have an easier way to get to it. And I've actually seen houses where the soil has actually come up higher than the siding. People actually purposely buried their siding without realizing what they were doing. And then a couple of years later, their siding is rotting out. And they have mold and mildew problems and such. It's just a bad thing all around. So make sure you've got a good, at least a foot between your soil and your wood. We really don't have to worry about that too much here because we've got a couple of feet and we have a tall foundation, so it's not really an issue here, but in a lot of homes it is. So just something to be aware of.
It really helped last time when you came out a little bit further because it kind of broke it up better. Yeah, just like that. It doesn't have to be a lot, but yeah. Awesome. Thank you.
The soil that we're taking out of here right now, we're piling it up. And later on, we'll use that as backfill because we have some ideas here that I think are going to look really cool. It's really fun doing archaeology on old houses. We were digging this out and we found several bricks that were buried in the soil right underneath this water faucet. And at first glance, it's like, okay, great. They wanted a little bit of a splash block there so the water doesn't just erode the soil. But then as we were digging deeper, we discovered the catchment down here for the water, the V-shaped bricks. When we got to this point, we found that there were no bricks at the catchment level. It just comes over here, stops, goes to soil, comes back to bricks, and then continues on around the corner. And we're trying to figure out what in the world did they do that for? I mean, why in the world would they take the bricks up and then lay them back down again? But the answer is very simple. So right directly behind you guys, behind our camera, is the water shutoff. And we think that the water pipe comes across the yard, comes through here, and enters under the foundation right at this point here. I mean, it makes perfect sense because you've got a water faucet. Well, apparently when they did that, they took the bricks out, trenched in, laid the pipe in, filled it back with soil, and then kind of as an afterthought, tossed the bricks up just underneath this, rather than setting them back down properly to make a catchment. But at that point in time, they probably didn't care. But we do, and so we'll take some of those bricks we took out of here, and we'll set the catchment back up again. I'm not sure what to make of that. Let me just describe what I'm seeing here. So I've got the foundation here of this brick wall, I think. Let me just dig down a little further here. It's really hard to tell when everything's covered with mud. When I stick the probe down in the ground, I'm not hitting any bricks, which tells me that the brick catchment ends here. But there's something here that looks like concrete. Jeannie's digging down underneath it. Whatever it was laid on top of the catchment. Is that a stone or what is that thing?
That's mortar.
That's mortar? Mortar. Okay, so that's interesting. I
Lime
wonder.
mortar.
Lime mortar?
That's lime mortar. It
Cool.
crumbles.
Nice. We like lime mortar. We brought the camera closer so you can see what we see. There's a big chunk of mortar here and some extra bricks here that don't appear to be anywhere else along this wall. I think that there was probably a drain pipe under there and somebody plugged it. The only way to find out for sure would be to go into the house and then crawl all the way over here and take a look at it from underneath. That would tell us for sure. But wouldn't that be interesting if the original drain pipe was still right there? Yes, there's something definitely going on there. Well, it was pretty amazing that we uncovered this water catchment. That thing may have been there 40, 50 years. It's really hard to say, but it was buried under 8 inches of soil. So now that we've excavated this, we have to figure out what to do now. And we did kind of allude to the fact that we had some ideas. So I think we have a plan. Why don't you go ahead and talk about what we're going to do here?
Well, the idea is that we build a raised bed out of brick all along the side and all around that side. And that way it'll keep, the brick wall on this side will keep the soil from encroaching on the water catchment. That way it'll still be seen, it'll still be beautiful, and then we can put some flowers or something up in the bed. And
some kind of Victorian landscaping.
yes, but what kind, I don't know yet.
Yeah, we don't know yet. There's all kinds of things that could go on here, but basically the gist of it is that by building a raised bed, it doesn't have to be very high, just a few bricks high, from here to probably about here, that would give us a place to put some really nice landscaping, and that
And
gives
still
us
protect
some.
this part.
Yeah, so the catchment will still be back here, but it'll basically be boxed in like this. And so we'll have the foundation wall here, we'll have the other wall of the planter like this, and that'll form a channel. So any water that would get down in there would just roll right around the corner and out to the drainage system. But we don't think we're probably going to get a lot of water there. But the main reason we want to raise that up is because the front yard over the years has come up in elevation, and we're going to get water that's coming towards the house. You don't want that.
Right.
And I think one of the reasons why it was filled in was to get water away from the house. And we think that this solution will give us the best of both worlds. It'll give us our water catchment, which was the original gutter drainage system, while still providing the proper slope out here to keep the water away from the house. I think it's going to look good.
I do too.
We have to do some more digging yet and get this cleaned, and then we have to excavate and lay our bricks in there. So we're not sure yet if we're going to just put the bricks down in the soil and start it from a base there, or whether we'll dig it out, put in a concrete base, and then build the bricks on top of that. We're just not sure. But that's the plan. And I think it should be fun.
I think it'll look beautiful.
Yeah, it'll look beautiful. It'll look beautiful. The yard is very slowly coming along and becoming more beautiful as we go.
I do have one question though. I wanted to plant all of these flowers in here, that may not work so well, because as we were working yesterday and today, I realized this place does not get much sun. We get maybe 2 to 3 hours of sun in this area. So,
Northern exposure.
yeah, it's most of the sun is, we'll get a little bit there and a little bit there morning and evening, but that's it. The rest of it is all in the backyard. We got great sunshine back there, but not up here in this area because the house is blocking it all. So what would be really pretty, I would like flowers of some kind, but doesn't need a whole lot of sun.
Yeah, possibly some small shrubbery stuff that doesn't grow and get crazy. But
Yes, I
we
don't
know
want it really big because I like to see this as well.
Yep. We know there's a lot of you gardeners out there
Yes.
who have the perfect solution here. So please
Help us
let us
out.
know in the comments. And speaking of comments, every time you leave a comment, we love it because we love to communicate with you guys. We read all the comments and we try to at least respond to each one if possible. But the comments that you leave, whenever you like the video, whenever you subscribe to it, every time you watch a video, all these interactions that you guys do with us on YouTube, they help to increase the rankings of our channel. It helps our channel grow, but more importantly, it helps us as a couple because we're in a revenue sharing program with YouTube because we have so many subscribers. They pay us some money every month for the content that we produce, and we really, really appreciate you guys supporting us in that way. And so I just wanted to make you aware that every interaction and everything that you do to interact with the channel helps to increase that score, which actually helps us on the bottom line, which we definitely appreciate
Very much.
as we're going through this difficult time of unemployment right now. So I just wanted to put that out there. I don't want to make a big deal about it, but it is a factor, and we really, really appreciate it.
So thank you for watching 1834 Restoration House.